India and the United States have experienced a complex trajectory of diplomatic and defense-related interactions spanning decades. This report outlines key events, challenges, and responses shaping their bilateral relations, including tensions following nuclear tests, simulated conflict scenarios, and defense cooperation. In 2000, General Dynamics, a leading American defense contractor, allegedly showcased a simulated war scenario to senior U.S. officials. This controversial simulation detailed how the U.S. Navy could decisively defeat the Indian Navy in a hypothetical conflict. Intended as a sales pitch for advanced defense technologies, the presentation leaked, causing widespread outrage in India. The leak prompted intense backlash from Indian officials and media. The Indian embassy formally conveyed concerns, emphasizing that India posed no threat to the United States. Indian officials highlighted the nation's long-standing commitment to peaceful diplomacy, contrasting with more adversarial countries like North Korea and Iran. The simulation reinforced concerns within Indian defense circles about American intentions. These tests, conducted under Operation Shakti, were aimed at showcasing India's strategic deterrent capabilities. The tests triggered severe global backlash, with the U.S. leading the imposition of stringent economic sanctions under the Glenn Amendment. Key consequences included suspension of defense-related technology transfers, freezing of international loans and financial aid, and diplomatic isolation on global forums. Despite these challenges, India remained firm on its decision, citing national security concerns. India navigated the sanctions through strategic diplomatic engagements and by strengthening economic ties with non-Western nations. This period also saw heightened emphasis on indigenous defense production. A military conflict between India and Pakistan further exacerbated global concerns about a potential nuclear exchange. Following the Kargil War in 1999, tensions peaked as both nations engaged in aggressive posturing. Recognizing the risk of a full-scale war, U.S. President Bill Clinton intervened, urging Pakistani Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif to withdraw forces from Indian territory. This diplomatic effort was pivotal in de-escalating the conflict. Initially denying the war simulation presentation, General Dynamics later acknowledged its existence, issuing a formal apology. The company clarified that the exercise was never intended as a provocation but rather a demonstration of strategic capabilities. Indian political leaders and media emphasized India's historically cooperative stance with the U.S., citing collaborations in areas such as space research, civilian nuclear programs, and limited defense technology transfers. Despite tensions, India continued engaging with the U.S. in defense procurement, albeit cautiously. Collaborative ventures, partnerships with domestic giants like Tata and Mahindra for indigenous defense equipment production are a step towards self-reliance in defense technology. Such collaborations not only bolster domestic capabilities but also demonstrate India's initiative in reducing dependency on foreign imports. Technological alternatives. With the exploration of alternatives to US-made Chinooks and other medium-heavy lift helicopters, India is actively diversifying its defense portfolio. By evaluating different technologies and markets, India is better positioned to safeguard its national interests and optimize its defense expenditures. Diversification strategy. Strengthen ties with Russia and Israel underscore India's strategic move to reduce dependence on US defense systems. This diversification is not only strategic but also essential in ensuring that India has multiple supply chains, thereby reducing vulnerabilities associated with relying on a single nation. Historical contributions and grievances. During a severe food crisis under Indira Gandhi's administration, the U.S. supplied 20% of its agricultural exports to India, a gesture that, despite its significance, was marred by bureaucratic delays resulting in considerable loss of life. This incident fostered resentment and created a legacy of mistrust that has lingered in U.S.-India relations. While the aid was appreciated, the delays reinforced perceptions of American indifference, affecting bilateral relations despite cooperative efforts in later years. Strategic recommendations for the future. To strengthen bilateral mechanisms, enhanced defense cooperation can build trust through transparent agreements and technology transfers. Expanding economic engagements by fostering trade partnerships can create economic resilience. Furthermore, promoting academic and cultural exchanges can bridge social and political gaps between the two nations. Regional stability initiatives are crucial, including nuclear risk reduction by establishing communication hotlines and enhancing joint counterterrorism efforts through improved intelligence sharing. Additionally, maritime security initiatives are vital for securing trade routes and combating piracy. Conclusion: India and the US share a dynamic history characterized by both cooperation and conflict. While challenges remain, strategic engagement based on mutual respect and transparency offers pathways to a stronger partnership. Emphasizing shared democratic values and economic ambitions, the future promises potential for deeper collaboration, shaping a more resilient and multifaceted bilateral relationship.